first of all, let me ask you a question. Do you like bodybuilders?
No, I mean, I don't not like bodybuilders.
Okay. All right. So some of these bodybuilders are in trouble in Egypt. So Egyptian preachers issues a fatwa against bodybuilding stirs controversy, which is again funny that it stirs controversy because it's a men's sport. So, Egypt is a very male-dominated society. So after Egyptian bodybuilder Big Ramy won the Mr. Olympia, so congratulations, a pretty big title, Mr. Olympia 2021 championship, Cleric Abdullah Rushdie issued a fatwa prohibiting men from participating in the sports because it reveals intimate parts of the body.
Oh my. Wow. And this is men as well now. Men are policing men. I thought they only cared about what women got up to.
Nice. Look, as you said earlier, Islam sucks joy out of everything. Everything. Even men, I'm not, I'm being honest here. Men have to pay a price as well. Yes, you're right. Women get the worst end of the stick, but men pay the price as well. And look at this. It's like, bodybuilders have really small, intimate parts. Some people say it's because rest of the parts of the body are so big that some intimate parts look very tiny. But look at him; you can't see anything. Look, there's just a little number on there. Look, what is this? Unless those thighs, those big pecs, or those big biceps, they're considered intimate parts as well. I don't know. but that's the that's the reason. So I take it women bodybuilding would definitely not be allowed.
Definitely. How could you even think such a thing? You know that Taliban guy would laugh you off right now. Like, remember he did? That's what he would make of your comment. Miss World, Miss Universe, beauty pageants, bodybuilding, none of that. We are locked up at home, wrapped up in a black chadar, and that's it. That's the end all and be all of our existence.
Yeah, so let's just dig further into it. So what he actually means by that, I don't know. It actually reminds me of the fatwa that was issued once by a Turkish cleric who said that pretty men, the metrosexual men, the gelled up hair and pout faces and like very chiseled jawbones and very feminine kind of men. He said, "Hey, you need to grow some facial hair, otherwise you could get."
Oh
said that.
my,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, you don't know about this one. You don't know about this one.
No, I know the last thing you told me on that level was the thing when someone thought, who did he think was a woman? Who was wearing a wig, and he said, "Why is he not wearing a dupatta?"
Oh yeah, that Newton.
Isaac,
yeah, Newton.
Newton,
Oh yeah, that's a different one. But this one, Turkish cleric, he issued a fatwa that men should grow facial hair because that might still turn on some other men, some alpha men, and they might do something dirty with them. So Turkish Islamic preacher says men without beards cause indecent thoughts in other men because they look like women. You're on mute.
Oh my God, I genuinely what? I'm actually shook right now. That's it. You don't even have to have women parts. You just need to, like, Haris, if you grew your hair longer, you're a freaking mate. You would be like, yeah, can you imagine? They'd be so threatened.
Well, that's the reason why I actually started growing facial hair. I was such a pretty boy.
Too pretty for the Taliban.
Yeah, maybe back in the day, but yeah, not now. But so this actually reminds me. This latest Egyptian fatwa actually reminds me of that. It's the same mentality, and this also reminds me. I think it was Imam Hanbali or Shafi. I can't remember who. The Ilyas Qadri told this story. He said one of these four imams. Some of you guys will know. I can't remember which one exactly. Someone can maybe tell me in the comments if they remember. Well, either Imam Shafi or Hanbali. He once had a student brought to him, and he says that, and he's reading that off a book. He's saying this pretty young boy was brought to him, and he said, Imam, I want to learn the Quran and your teachings through you. So Imam sees him. Imam says, he's a very pretty boy. He said, no, you go back. I'm not going to teach you. You should learn it from, you should first learn the language a bit more or whatever. So he made some sort of an excuse to just get rid of him because he knew the boy is very pretty. so the guy went back, learned something. Within a month, he came back to the Imam, and he told Imam, I want to learn from you. so Imam said that he used to put him behind a pillar so he could not see him when he was teaching. And this guy, Ilyas Qadri, explains, he said, and he's probably reading that from a book as well, he says the reason for that was because he knew that he was such a pretty boy that, you might get some naughty thoughts about that boy. So, and he says that, he said, when you see a pretty boy, a human is full of mistakes. So, you could get dirty thoughts.
So can we assume that all of these imams are like inherently bisexual? Because that's the vibe I get. Like, we know Islam has an obsession. It's disgustingly obsessed with sex. Everything in Islam at some point revolves around sex. Like, that's just the way it is. But all of these imams can get turned on. Let's say, I was going to say turned, but turned on is a better word here. By whether it's a little boy or a girl, it doesn't matter, or a woman. Like, all three things are fair game to them. Like, a pretty face is a pretty face that they would want to act on that, regardless of whatever gender you are. So it doesn't even stop it. Are these guys straight or not? Like, I'm just assuming now every madrasa imam that has done like, sexually abused the little boy or whatever, these urges aren't just restricted to women. They are inherently bisexual. They're just that thirsty and lusty. Like, it's disgusting. And I guess Islam gives them like, even things that you see with like bachabazi in Afghanistan, it's a real thing. It exists. Like, and this is what I was saying, that hadith earlier, which I saw about heaven, that there's going to be a marketplace, and the Prophet himself said this. My charge is running really low, but I will try and get that up and send it to you if I can. But there's an actual hadith where the Prophet is saying there will be a part of heaven which will be nothing but a market with images of women and boys, and you can choose. So even heaven is a bisexual playground.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is a documentary that Hambeen Singh is referring to. That's just, I call them involuntary bisexuality or homosexuality, if you want to call it, because we notice that same behavior amongst prison population, amongst men who are straight men. They end up doing this because of lack of opportunity for opposite sex or the natural preferred sex. Same thing happens in churches with priests. Because they have access to little boys. Not if they had access to little girls, I'm assuming that would be the first preference. So just like that here.
Like, what is this? What is this? There's a pattern, right? It's like, okay, prison is different because that's a whole different thing, right? Even the way it works there, like, I don't want to swear, but it's a whole thing that happens in prison, right? And you actively like know that there's a hierarchy and what drives them to do that. But in the case of these religious men that we're talking about, it is the sexual repression that they think is manifesting anyway that's causing them to suddenly be attracted to whatever it is that moves, whether it's like, imagine if as a mother sending my son to a madrasa, I still wouldn't feel safe. And it's like this man who's meant to be teaching Quran could either be attracted to a little girl, which is already repulsive, but the Prophet's done that, so we can't really comment on that, but also to be as attracted to my little son just because of the way he thinks or his desires. It's only religion that will, obviously there's other people in society as well, pedophilia is a thing, but religion specifically allows men to get away with saying things like this. How can you say, oh, he's too much of a pretty boy for me to teach him, I have to teach him from behind a pillar? Like, I can't believe I have to stoop this low to like even comment on that. Like, this man in a healthy, normal society should be locked up. That's not healthy. You're not mentally okay. It's just your religion that's giving you a free pass to say that. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, it's freaking disgusting.
But look, to be fair, I don't think it's religion doesn't actually sanction that. Islam doesn't sanction this bachabazi or this dancing boys at Kabul or the imams, even the respected imams, making these kind of jokes.
I know you always say that. No, I know you always say that. But there are hadiths where the Prophet has commented on boys, right? And boys looking nice. And I'm telling you this, let me pull up this heaven hadith as well. Like, why are you offering both sexes in heaven if you are so on the straight and narrow? You're clearly not. So
yeah, you're talking about a Quranic verse where it says that in heaven these boys will be giving you glasses of wine. I think that's what the verse says. But people,
yeah, I mean, but there's like little boys, pretty slave boys for women because you guys get hurim. But beyond that, I'm telling you, there's that hadith.
No, even men will get. No, the context is even men will get pretty little boys. So that's the one.
Do you want pretty little boys? Like, do you think that's all right? That's acceptable? Is that your perfect afterlife forever and ever and ever and ever?